From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a great day and a midday here on LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 and why more Democrats have stepped forward to give you a monthly stimulus check. In this recording, we'll go over all the details of that and more. We'll be cutting to the recon and why the recon is going to pay you lots of checks, 3.5 trillion of them, and what have the progressives put in that recon? It's all deliciousness. The Purple Hawks are going to pounce. Then we cut to the delicious items of the MSC themselves and why the number one person on Capitol Hill wants you to have an MSC could be upwards of $9,000 a person. OMG is right. Then we cut to the big money that's happening under fifth stimulus, and that starts in September, out for a vote in November. And then the big money that viewers are getting right now from third stimulus, upwards of $80,000 a day. You're going to see all the deliciousness, all the big news, because, boy, there's a lot of breaking news. It's right here at noontime, and it starts right here, right now, direct from Santa Monica, where the stimulus is up and the surf is up, starting at noontime. Hey, good noontime, everybody. Thank you for joining me across the board. We're with an exciting, great day with so much breaking news at noontime. With those monthly stimulus checks now heating up among more Democrats, I have the latest breaking news about that as well. We'll go over who wants to hear from you because more Democrats want to hear from you on this subject matter. Live from Santa Monica at noontime, we'll be going over the recon as well. Why it's the biggest payout and why it's going to have you walking to the bank with lots of different checks. Biggest payout we've ever seen in the History Channel, but mostly application based, which will be perfect for Purple Hawks, but not so perfect for Donetta. Then we turn to the big money that is happening right now. $80,000 a person. My goodness. I have all the incredible great news. I'm so glad you're here with me. And this is noontime on LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The links under the video and at the top of the chat. Meantime, if you haven't signed up for those LA alerts, what are you doing? Totally free. It's in the description of this video. Put your name and email address in and you start to receive alerts like an alert from this video. It lands in your direct deposit, in your email box, and that's the LA alerts. Put your name and email address in there, watch for the confirmation email, and then you are ready to rock and roll. Get those alerts wherever you are and on the road. Let's cut to that monthly stimulus check. More Democrats want you to have it. What's at issue? Let's go over their proposals. Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling for a monthly stimulus check. AOC Omar, $2,000 monthly stimulus check. They're calling for it. And House Ways and Means, over 7 members of that House Ways and Means calling for a monthly fourth stimulus check. That is deliciousness. And then finally, the one that has captivated a country from the West Coast to the East Coast has been that House bill. Pandemic plus 1 year, which would be $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000. So I think you have an opinion. Jump for the live chat right now and vote House or Senate. And tell me where you're tuning in from right now and how the weather is. Who gets that fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got a third, you get a fourth. Single individual, $75,000 less. Democrats represent, you get one. Married couple, $150,000 less. Democrats represent, you get one as well. Double it. Family of 4, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check as well. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or rural benefits, Democrats represent, you get one as well. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. It's also not a different amount for different people. And finally, it's not a waivable check. So if you are at the beach and the check comes off waving at you, it's a foreign check. Hasn't exchanged for US dollars yet. And if it kisses you on 2 cheeks, it's the Italian check. Grazie. Thank you. And in the second half of this video, we'll be cutting to that fourth stimulus recon. Lots of checks in there, mostly application based. But then that MSC check, we're cutting to the third part of this video. That's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay to the very end. A lot of breaking news as Ron Wyden, Ron Klain, Janet Yellen, Gina Raimondo, and the two Rons, Ron Wyden and Ron Klain, talk about this fourth stimulus recon this week. OMG, a lot of breaking news. Plus, the world exclusive as the number one guy on Capitol Hill wants you to have an MSC, and it could be upwards of $9,000 a person. Deliciousness. It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of the video. And a personal message and more about other sums of money you can get as well. But first, let's get some money today. Boy, third stimulus became law in January, but as soon as it became law, I said there's other sums of money for you to get. And I'm going to show you how to get the sums of money right today. Let's go over the outline of what we're going to do. First, I'm going to show you the inspiration story. Then I'm going to show you the money. Then I'm going to show you the introductory remarks. And then I'm going to show you how to get this money right today. All you need is a pen, paper, and a cell phone, and the excitement starts. All right, let's cut to the inspiration story. His name is Johnny. 2 weeks ago, 3 members of this channel started the week at $0. By the middle of the week, 3 viewers at 40,000. Johnny was one of them, but he didn't stop there at 3 items. He got 7 items by the weekend, bringing his grand total to $80,000. What did Johnny do to get $80,000 from third stimulus? Here are the items. He got $12,000 for SNAP, $10,000 for EIDL, $2,000 for taxes, another $21,000 for housing, another $26,000 for housing on top of that, another $9,000 for utilities, and $50 a month for phone and internet, bringing his grand total to $80,000. The next week, last week, he reached out to his friends and family, said, hey, you need to do what I did. I just got $80,000 from this channel. Well, those friends and families did the same thing, and they got $100,000 in the next 5 days. Johnny reports, as I said today, I helped 5 friends and saved their homes, put food on their table. And the 3 family members thought it wasn't going to happen, but I got 2 of them $41,500 and the other $57,600. Wow, $100,000. This has been awesome to see people stop stressing about bills. Your channel, LALATE, has helped so many people and myself tremendously. You are such a godsend. Purple Power, Purple Hawk, Purple Calcino. That is for Johnny. Thank you for those wonderful comments. If you have a success story as well, it's posted send it to me on private message on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I have a lot I have to go through still. So still getting them in. Now, that is Johnny. Let's go to the money now so you get a sense of how much money it is. It's not a couple $100. It's a lot of money. Viewers are constantly getting $40, $50, $80, $100,000 from this channel. This is third stimulus. Let's look at the rent. Wow. There is Elizabeth at $27,000. She's a Purple Hawk. Have you become a Purple Hawk? The link's in the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Then when we talk about utilities, after we saw that rent, the rent is over $20,000. Then the utilities is even a lot of money as well. Johnny got $9,000 for utilities, so the numbers are going higher by the moment. Then then SNAP. You're going to see someone who got $19,000 for SNAP. Wow, OMG. The combo items, 3 items. Nisi and Nancy getting 3 items. She got $32,000. And there's Mark at 2 items at $32,000. Well, Mark is such an inspiration. He got 2 items at $32,000. But then he came back with 4 items thereafter, which are fascinating. Number 1, Mark was told 5 days on camera by me to go get SNAP, and he got that SNAP in less than 5 days. Wow, incredible, great news. Number 2, Mark decided to go get more items than just 3. Just like Johnny, he got 7. Number 3, Mark told a friend, neighbor, about this channel, and that friend as well got $21,000 of rent in less than 5 days. You see, it's not a rare occurrence. It's happening all the time. We have Chanan. Last week, Purple Hawk, 2 months, says, I told my friend about you, LA. She went on. She's now addicted to you. She got $21,000 from 3 items. Dawn got money. Mary got money. Joanne got money. Becky Leanne with Crayola got money. Wow. And then finally, Mark got that SNAP. How much did he get? He got $19,000, bringing his grand total mark on this channel to $50,500. But boy, the sky is the limit on this channel, because let me introduce you to Lorraine. And she got $105,000, because this is what we do. This is LALATE. I've been doing this since day one. Getting people big sums of money. First, second, and third stimulus had lots of money in there for you to get, and I've been getting it since day one on this channel. I launched this channel on April 25th of last year when people had applied for that EIDL loan and grant. They were not getting approved, and they needed help getting their applications approved. One after another, I got their applications approved, $25 million of them, saving their homes, their employees' homes, and also their businesses. 3 days later, a program went live, but I started recording the videos about it on the 25th. And in fact, it didn't go live in most states, like Florida and Texas. It was confusing because it was new. It was unemployment benefits for an independent contractor. Yes, PUA. And I got viewers like Eileen Bellenkamp out of Florida at $15,000 for this. But then in December 2020, second stimulus was not coming. You needed money. It was the holidays. I stepped forward. I got people money. Like Tyrone and his family of 4 out of Boston, $16,000. Paid all their rent to the new year. I got viewers $250,000. And now you and I are doing it the same. So get that pen paper ready because we're about to get you money. What we're doing right now is we're going to go over the sums of money. I'm going to show you some introductory remarks, and then I'm going to show you where to get the money. Here are the introductory remarks. First, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. So you reach out to 6 of 6 places. You don't reach out to 1 of the 6. You reach out to all 6. Second, I'm going to give you keywords to say. Make sure you say the keywords. It helps get people approved. Number 3, every state has the same amount of money dedicated to them, despite what you may think. Every state has the same amount of money. All right, here you go. Here are the 6 places you reach out to. Your city hall, your city house authority. That's 2. Your county hall, your county house authority. That's 4. And your state hall and your state house authority. That is 6. And the keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. That's it. That's what you do. If you ever have to hear part of this video, you can always replay the button, toggle the button underneath it to replay that section. What's important to understand is that if you have multiple utilities, pick up the phone and call every utility company. If you have 5 utility companies, pick up the phone. Utility assistance because of COVID. You can get this money. Start today. Congratulations to everyone who got money for rent and utilities. If you got it, post in the live chat right now. Tim got it and Linda got it as well. The next part of the money is the money coming back from the federal government for SNAP. You can get this today. Pick up the phone and call. What is SNAP? It is money for food. What is the eligibility? Easier than a stimulus check. If you got a 3rd stimulus check, you should be getting this money. A lot of people never heard of SNAP till they found this channel. And Mark had not got to SNAP until he found this channel. Now he's getting $19,000. But now how much is he getting a lifetime? $25,000. What happened? 2 weeks ago, the Department of Agriculture made the announcement. Everyone's benefits are going up at an average of 25% lifetime automatically nationwide starting October. Wow, incredible, great news. So congratulations to Mark, who is sitting on $25,000. And congratulations to Lynn Glenn and Gail, who got this money as well. And you've got money for SNAP. Post in the live chat right now. The next pot of money is the refund check coming back from your state due to overpayment and computer error. Average payment has been anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 for viewers of this channel. This is coming from direct deposit. Reach out to your state for routing times. And finally, the refund check coming from IRS for the taxes you paid on that 2020 tax return. Margaret got it, Cog got it, Michael got it. Average payment is $1,200 to $2,000. But first, here's a personal message from me before we go more over those details. This channel was launched for me to help you get money. So if you're on the live chat, the spirit is also helping others. Post your success stories for the rent and utilities and food you got, because when you do, you help people so many ways. Number 1, you inspire people to pick up the phone, because this is really just about picking up the phone. Pick up the phone and get the money. Pick up the phone and get the money. Call all those utility companies today. They're open. Call Department of Agriculture today. And do those 6 other places as well. Pick up the phone and get this money. Number 2, people are realizing this is a lot of money. A lot more money than we've ever seen before. Number 3, people like Art Sullivan and Nisi, wonderful viewers, got 3 items that inspired people to get multiple items. And finally, we're realizing the numbers are going bigger than ever before. So post your success story. Let's come back to those unemployment benefits. They're landed by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it works. It'll reveal the refund check you're getting and the taxes you paid, and also reveal if Mitch ever went and got a San Francisco hairstyle. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of this video, starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A 4 stimulus recon has passed over the finish line. Yes, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. The recon procedure is done. But it didn't just happen just a few days ago. It actually happened 2 months earlier. What's important to understand is that the Democrats had agreed upon this 2 months earlier. I'll explain the details in just a second. But first, let's get a background on how we got to this spot. The Democrats had initially roads and bridges in the recon, and that was not going to work. So they took it out of there, and that made it work. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. Confirmative publication confirms my reporting. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, the roads and bridges put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. So what happened 2 months earlier? Well, Democrats are doing recon with Democrats. There is no Republican involved. They don't need a Republican vote. And the way Democrats do legislation is they go and meet face to face. What do you think about this? And they reach an oral agreement. And once they have an oral agreement, that's the finish line. They've gone over the finish line at that point. When they write the bill is just a confirmation of their oral agreement, much a ceremonial confirmation. And then when they vote on it, it's a ceremonial confirmation again. It's the oral agreement, which is the finality. That's the finish line. And they did that 2 months ago. And that's why I had told you over 2 months ago that the recon had passed. That's why at that time, the comments were so important when Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota, and Representative Richie Torres, Democrat, New York, both progressives, had said, we need a larger recon. We need a recon that goes as big and bold as we want. That was before they agreed upon the recon, and they got it. And that's why the president at the time told Jalopal and Brian Schatz, protect my recon, because everything in that recon is progressive priorities, the White House priorities, and checks of the American people. So what's the difference between a recon and a bipartisan? What's the difference between a recon procedural and a recon substantive? Let's go over all the incredible details starting right now so that you understand exactly how this all works. So we have two paths, recon and bipartisan. Recon, your money. Bipartisan, not your money. Reconciliation, also called the budget bill, also called the Democratic spending plan and social reform plan. Price tag $3.5 trillion. Bipartisan, not your money, also called roads and bridges, also called infrastructure. Price tag $1.5 trillion. Well, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Yes, the recon procedural, done, signed, sealed. Now they're on recon substantive. Recon substantive is so similar to recon procedural. It, in fact, involves a key word, and that key word is committees. Recon procedural, passed. Final vote 2 weeks ago. Price tag $3.5 trillion, and the money was split among the committees. So recon substantive, where they are right now, goes over how to spend the money. I'll explain more about that in the final 15 minutes of the video, but this is why you have to push purple power, because they're working on this right for now. Seats for stimulus. You've been good, but you can be better. Hashtag seats for stimulus. Go on social media. Tag the elected officials. Share these videos on social media. Well, how do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying, chuck all the vote on the recon. The letter was signed by 100-plus House Democrats, part of that 100-plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks to the forced stimulus recon. Wow, can we top that? Yes, as 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee recently wrote the president a letter saying they're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks to the forced stimulus recon. Wow. And boy, but you got to push purple power, because now we got a lot of Democrats, in fact, virtually all of them, calling for a fourth stimulus check and make it monthly. We have the House seats up for grabs, but let's look at everyone that's pushing for that. Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling for a monthly stimulus check. We have the House bill signed by 100-plus Democrats calling for a monthly stimulus check. We have AOC and Omar calling for a monthly stimulus check. And the House Ways and Means calling for a monthly stimulus check. Wow, can we top that? Yes. As Biden did it, the president did. He got a confusing thing out of the recon that actually pays for the recon. What is it called? It's called the global minimum corporate tax rate. And now it's somewhere else. And he did that about 8 weeks ago. Now it makes it easier to call the vote on the recon, easier to pass the recon. Because what is this thing? It's the way to pay for the recon by raising corporate taxes so that 55 corporations the president has identified that don't pay anything in taxes but make billions of dollars a year pay their fair share. Wow, can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, so much breaking news at noontime. Janet Yellen speaks out. Gina Raimondo. Then Warren, Wyden, Sanders, Clan, all talking about this recon, and Chuck as well. Then we'll be going over the world exclusive about those MSCs, what you need to do, the differences between a purple power push and a purple power question mark. Well, actually, just a question mark. And then we'll be cutting over to the big sums of money on this forced stimulus recon and why Purple Hawks are going to do so well. And finally, a personal message from me at noontime. And with that, if you've gotten 1 or 2 items from third stimulus, you are ready to rock and roll under fourth. But please make sure you get 1 or 2, 3-year items from third stimulus starting today. Pick up the phone. Call those utility companies starting today. Utility assistance because of COVID. Contact those utility companies right today. Also, a lot of county and city websites are open today. So go on there and try to apply for that rent assistance because of COVID. City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority, and contact Department of Agriculture to get that SNAP. Once you got one item yourself, you're so ready for fourth stimulus. Then if you can't get the other items on the third stimulus, reach out to the volunteers. Here's a little bit about them. They're on the community page. In the description of this video, open the description, find the community page. It's at news.lalate.com, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Noontime continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues at noontime LA with incredible great news about that fourth stimulus check of 2021. We'll be going over the MSC and the world exclusive on the guy who wants you to have an MSC. Have you been doing your share of the Purple Power Push? We'll be going over all the incredible details. Then we'll be cutting to the recon itself and why application base is going to be incredible for Purple Hawks, but a little bit confusing for Donettas. Then we'll be cutting to the big confusion about this stimulus and what's happening with that as well. So much happening in the second half of this video. So excited you're here. And so subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video too, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link's in the description of this video. Let's cut to the real interesting twist about this stimulus, which caused some confusion this week. The confusion stemmed from one legislator proposing for extra money for seniors under fourth stimulus, causing people to wonder, is that replacing fifth stimulus? Oh, no, it is not. That is just a series of some checks or a little bit of a check, whereas fifth stimulus is a lifetime of reform. First, they'll raise your benefit limits up, then they'll remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. This is fifth stimulus, which starts in September, out for a vote by early as November. Let's go over all the details of this starting right now. Who gets this? You do. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step one is they're going to raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation. And boy, that inflation rate is going up. How high? Well, I've been reporting maybe as high as 5%. Yes, because it's going to be transitory. Transitory means a temporary spike, and that spike is really kicking in December. How high? Well, I'm saying about 5%. Let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. And the new benchmark is 5%. Wow. You'll go up another 5%. Not just next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. They're going to move the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't work and say you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. So you'll be having some muddled Did you call this muddled? No, you'll be able to have some nice color in your life and also some stimulus checks. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away and love is going to win and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. You'll no longer fear a loss of benefits and your benefits will be restored if you suffered the marriage penalty. There you go. That is fifth stimulus. But will there be a fifth stimulus check? The Democrats represent in the House Ways and Means Committee, there will be. That would kick in January. Meantime, if you're on the live chat, you haven't become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, the link is in the video to become a member today. They're delivered daily from me to them, a breakdown of all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus, so that you can be walking into the weekend with 80,000, 40,000, 30,000, 20,000. Have you gotten these massive sums of money? Then you need to become a Purple Hawk today. I delivered to viewers a breakdown of all the big money under first, second, and third because guess what? It's there. And a lot of people don't know to get it. As soon as third stimulus checks were passed, $1,400, I immediately said, well, no, let's back up. Before $1,400 stimulus checks were passed, I had for viewers a draft of what was in the third stimulus package. And I said, look at all this money in this third stimulus package. I'm going to get a lot of money for you, more than $14,000. And some people that weren't viewers of this channel just focused on the $1,400 check, got it, cashed it, and then moved on. And now they're wondering, where's the fourth stimulus check? Not the Purple Hawks of this channel. No, no, no. They were taught and trained by me that there's fortunes of other money in the third stimulus package, tens of thousands of dollars for you to get, and they're getting it. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk today so you get all access to all the information of all this incredible sums of money in the third, first, and second stimulus package and what's proposed under fourth and fifth. More about that coming up in a second. But with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with the fourth stimulus recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Yes! The tow truck passed over the finish line not just 2 weeks ago, but really 2 months ago, when the Democrat caucus had met and agreed to do a recon, price tag $3.5 trillion. Done, deal, signed, sealed. So now they're meeting to agree on the provisions of how to spend the money in those committees. That key word is committees. And Ron Wyden, Senator, Democrat Ron Klain, Chief of Staff to the President, Bernie Sanders, and Chuck Schumer, all report that they're working tooth and nail, day and night to get this done. And in fact, Chuck Schumer says he's having 4 to 5 phone calls a day with Bernie Sanders about this. They worked all last week. They worked over the Labor Day weekend. They're working nonstop. Over the last weekend, we met a new cast member. Her name is Freedom Frida. She has a lot of fake facts, Freedom Frida. My goodness. She tells us that Mitch invented Christmas. She just has lots of fake facts. And one of her fake facts is the Democrats are not in town. They're not doing anything. They're not working. They're dragging their feet. Oh, no, they're working around the clock. And in fact, Janet Yellen, your Treasury Secretary, she cracked the whip just a few days ago. She said, make sure you get stuff done because you have to do my debt ceiling limit in a few weeks. In fact, that's what Ron Wyden said about 3 days ago. He said, we have a lot of stuff to do later in the month of September, so that's why we're taking care of this recon now, because we have so much stuff coming up. And Gina Raimondo, who is your Commerce Secretary, specifically spoke to broadcast media in the last 24 hours. She says, I want to hear from the mayor. I want to hear from you about what I should do, because we're almost done with this. Now, she's not going to give you a stimulus check because she's a Commerce Secretary. She's not even in the legislative branch, but she wants to hear from you. So she's on your list of people you want to push with. More about that coming up in a second. Now let's go to the bread and butter of the recon before we get to the MSC and the world exclusive. I'm getting those MSCs in 1 second. The bread and butter of the recon is application based, meaning you pick up the phone, you ask for this money. Why? Because the government doesn't know you need the money unless you tell them. The money will be in committees. Remember that graphic earlier in this video? The money will be in committees, and those committees won't know you need money for these subject matters unless you ask. Subject matters like internet, telephone, vision, dental, things like that. They won't know you need it because there's no database on it. And that's why IRS can't send you a check, because they don't know you need these type of things. IRS has nothing to do with your dental or vision. Here are some of the proposed checks. Free school meals for all checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for farmers, checks for free internet, checks for clean energy, checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for seniors alike, checks for seniors, checks for low and eligibility age for Medicare, checks for dental, checks checks for vision, and checks for hearing care. As you see there, now it's very crystal clear. IRS could never send you a check for your dental. They don't know anything about your dental. It's not in their database. And no one keeps databases about your dental at the federal government level. That's why you'll reach out to the committee and say, hey, I want this money. And you're going to kill it under forced stimulus because this is what you've been doing all along on this channel. Picking up the phone saying, I qualify for this money, send me this money. This channel's always been showing you where to get the money, you picking up the phone and pouncing as a Purple Hawk and getting that money. I'm going to go over more about that in a second and this application-based items. But first now let's turn to those MSCs, monthly stimulus checks, which would come from Treasury because they don't need any information for you about this. All the Democrats want you to have an MSC. Whether it's the Senate or the House, they've all talked about those MSCs. Sometimes they talk about $2,000, sometimes they talk about a longer duration. It's very, very important along the horizon that there is, in addition to Freedom Frida, who wants you to think that you're never getting anything from anyone, that the real people that want you to believe you're never getting anything are Republicans. And it's often a Republican publication or a Republican writer or a Republican viewer. And they want you to think you're never getting anything from Joseph Biden. They have personal dislike for the man. And it's important to understand that all these Democrats have said they want to give you a forced stimulus check. And they've all said it. And that is where Purple Power, which is nonpartisan, has been pushing for a while. Several weeks ago, almost 5 weeks ago, I told you to pick up the phone and push Purple Power for those MSCs. And pushing for Purple Power means a sentence that ends with a period. Purple Power push for stimulus check is an advocacy, such as, I need a stimulus check. My family needs it. My community needs it because of what's going on, because of what's happening in our town. Business is closed or something's happening with our church. I need to tell you why I need a monthly stimulus check. That is advocacy. Not advocacy, not Purple Power, is something that ends with a question mark, a sentence that's a question, like what Wendy and Will When say. They are my fictitious characters who simply just say when. When is the vote? When am I getting a check? When is it landing? Lots of questions. That doesn't help anyone. That's not advocacy. No one wants to hear people asking questions. People want to hear your story. And they want to hear your advocacy. And so about 4 weeks ago, I told viewers to pick up the phone and call your Democratic senators and advocate for a monthly stimulus check. Did you call 4 weeks ago? You might not have, but WR, who might be in the live chat, he's in most of the show's live chats, followed my advice and picked up the phone and called Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden confidant, and advocated for a monthly stimulus check professionally and respectfully. Said, I need a monthly stimulus check. I need to tell you why. And the staffer for Senator Chris Coons on the other side said, yes, Senator Chris Coons is already proposing a monthly forced stimulus check in the forced stimulus recon. Well, there you go. Purple Power, push, advocacy, world exclusive. Things happen when you push. Now, when we look at the recon, the whole name of the bill is actually called the Forced Stimulus Reconciliation Budget Bill. So what committee oversees this budget bill? The Budget Committee. Oh, okay, yeah, that's sort of obvious. The Budget Committee. And who's head of the Budget Committee? The Budget Chairman. Of course, the Budget Chairman's head of the Budget Committee that does the budget bill. Yeah, this is going pretty easy so far. And who is that Budget Chairman? Bernie Sanders. Oh, Bernie Sanders is chairman of the Budget Committee with the budget bill with the budget. Yeah, okay. So what did Bernie Sanders say 2 weeks ago? He said, prior budget chairman just sort of like to do things in D.C., but I like to get out amongst the people when I'm working on the budget bill to get a sense of what's going on. I said, translation, he wants to hear from you what to do, what your proposals are for the budget bill. He wants to hear from you. That's what get out amongst the people means. And I said 2 weeks ago to pick up the phone, call Bernie Sanders. Did you call then? You probably didn't. Not a lot of people called then either. Lynn Glenn did. And Brother Joshua did. 2020 volunteer from the community page and longtime viewer in Purple Hawk picked up the phone and called, professional, respectful, and kindly, and spoke to Senator Bernie Sanders' staffer and said, I need a monthly stimulus check. Advocacy. Sentence ends with a period, not a question mark. And the staffer came back and said, Senator Bernie Sanders is going to be proposing a forced stimulus check in the forced stimulus package. Well, there you go. World exclusive again. Advocacy. Things happen when you advocate. World exclusive. The number one guy on the number one committee wants you to have a monthly stimulus check. In the toe hitch, that's right at the edge of the finish line, as we saw very early in this video, right at the edge of the finish line. As they're finishing up the budget bill oral agreement negotiations, this is critical, because remember how Democrats do these things. They go and meet face to face and have an oral agreement, have an oral chat about what they want to put in that toe hitch. And that they try to formulate an oral agreement. Once that oral agreement's done, that's the finish line. They're over the finish line. The writing of the bill, who cares? That's just the confirmation of the oral agreement. The vote on the bill, who cares? That's the confirmation of the oral agreement. The oral agreement is the critical time you want to get to them, actually before the oral agreement. Because once the oral agreement's done, then they're telling someone, go write what we've already agreed upon. That moment is right now. We're right in front of the toe. The toe hitch is right in front of the finish line. OMG is right. Very good news, but right in front of us. So let's go over the rest of that conversation. Then they discussed the amounts and the duration. First, monthly, yes. Then an amount, $1,000 to $1,400. Yes, incredible, great news. A duration, monthly. Oh, yes. And finally, how long? 3 to 6 months. Yes, that's wonderful, wonderful news. Incredible news. Now, was there a catch? There was a catch. Senator Bernie Sanders' staffer said he will only propose it if he gets the support of the American people to do it. Purple Power, this is our thing. We got this. You and I got this. This is what we do. We push. You pick up the phone. You call Elizabeth Warren. You call Ron Wyden. And you call Ron Klain. You call Gina Raimondo. Even though she doesn't write stimulus checks, she wants to hear from you. You call Bernie Sanders, you call AOC, you call Richie Torres. You say, I need a monthly stimulus check. You are doing great work for us. Thank you. I need it. This is why I need it. Advocate. Ends with a period. The sentence ends with a period, not a question mark. You advocate for what you need because they want to hear from you. If they don't hear from you, then they don't think that you want that subject to be addressed. And you advocate for it. And there you go. Let's go over the calculations. House bill, 1 year, high end, 1 year, $13,000. Bernie on the high end, 6 months, $9,000. So it'd take you 12 months to get $13,000 from the House bill, but Bernie, you can get on the high end of $9,000 6 months. Incredible, great news. Now let's go to two final topics. First, we're going to go back over that recon. It's bread and butter, and then I have a personal message. Recon bread and butter. It's so important that you focus on how this recon bread and butter is done. It is mostly you picking up the phone and calling and saying, I want this money. And this is how 99.99% of all the items that paid under the first, second, and third stimulus were done. Along the way, some people got very, very comfortable with the idea of just looking at a direct deposit account and seeing a deposit in there and not having to ever lift a finger. 99% of all money on all these stimulus packages was never done that way. They always involved picking up money. There's a lot of money in here. This is a fortune. The previous stimulus package is this big. This one this big. Previous stimulus package is nearly all for corporations. This one's all for you. Imagine how much money there is in here. Yesterday, I brought back sirloin as a surprise for viewers, and there was one joke in the show where where I said a line, and sirloin laughed about it. Well, ironically, as soon as the line was delivered, the next video right after that, someone actually said the same line back. Let me tell you what happened. So there was a joke in Sirloin last night where I said to Sirloin, he said, what's going on with the viewers? And I said, well, Sirloin, there's some viewers that say, what's the new update? And I could tell them there's a house burning down the block. There's a house burning on the block down the street. And, there's 15 people running for their lives. And then they'll say, yeah, but what's the update? He said, well, you just told them there's a house burning. I said, I know that there's a translation to the word update. That is, when is it landing directly on my deposit account? Oh, really? So guess what? The next video right after that, someone said, what's the update? And I was like, there's 9,000 updates in this video. Oh, okay. They just want to know when it's landing their direct deposit. That's pure donut. That's pure donut guy. And that donut guy is really not going to be in a good position for forced stimulus, because when we talk about dental, vision, internet, all these things, when is it going to land in my bank account, direct deposit? Never. If you think that the federal government knows to write you a check for internet or dental or vision, they don't. They don't know to write you because of you're alive and because you're sitting there holding a donut. They don't know to do it. You have to do something a little bit more than hold the donut to get these sums of money. You have to pick up the phone and call. And you can do that. But anyone who has gotten used to the idea of automatically just receiving money, automated money, 99% of all stimulus before this has never been automated. Now, let me bring you to a personal message. A personal message is the following. On Early Mornings LA today, there was someone who dropped in the comments the following comment. And it's sort of like what we were just talking about. The viewer said, you know, I'm an Uber and Lyft driver, and it's very sad that throughout this entire pandemic since last year, this federal government has never taken care of essential workers like me, an Uber and Lyft driver. All I got was this stimulus check, and I never got anything else. And it's unfortunate they didn't put other money in my bank account. Wow. Now, if you are a longtime viewer of this channel, or even a more recent viewer of this channel who watches the videos, you know how shocking that remark is. Why? Because if you were an Uber or Lyft driver and you were watching this channel since April of last year, you probably got somewhere between $5,000 to $30,000 from this channel. And you probably got close to $30,000, where this viewer thought there was nothing there for them because the viewer was so used to automated money that it just lands directly in the deposit account just automatically, but never wanted to learn about the money that didn't take a whole lot of effort to get that was upwards of $30,000. The Uber and Lyft driver would have gotten that EIDL grant in 10 seconds of $5,000, which in their low income community would have been $10,000 or $15,000. They could have gotten the EIDL loan. On the other side, they could have gotten PPP, which would have been forgivable, would have been about $10,000, or they would have gotten PUA, which would probably been a lot more money, would have been probably upwards about $700 a week. Easily upwards of about $20,000 to $30,000 that viewer would have gotten. And the viewer sort of thought that stimulus is just automated. It just automatically comes. It comes automated. It doesn't, most of the money doesn't come by automation. It comes by doing something more than looking at that direct deposit account. And that's why I'm so excited for you, the viewer, because so many people are now succeeding. They're taking the information of the video and they're now succeeding. Today is the day. That pen, that paper, that cell phone, you have it ready. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. You're going to get the rent assistance because of COVID, but certainly on the weekend, pick up all the phone, call all the utility companies, utility assistance because of COVID. I want you to get 1, 2, 3 utility companies today. I want you to call Department of Agriculture if you've never gone on SNAP and you qualify for a third stimulus check. I want you to pick up the phone, start calling today. Today is your day to change it around because you are going to sit in a good position if you start doing it right now. I want you to try to get that rent paid all the way to next year. Get that utilities paid all the way to next year. So you have the roof over your head, you have the electric paid for, and you have that money for food to put on the table all the way to next year. And then together as a great family, we are going to be ready to pounce on the fourth stimulus. You as a Purple Hawk, you as a viewer, you as a subscriber are going to be so ready to succeed in the rest of this 2021 year that as we go into 2022, you're going to be so ready as these other sums of money start landing. And with that, coming up next is Afternoons LA at 1 o'clock. Then the next Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock, brand new show. And then Evenings LA at 5, and then Sir Lauren back at 8 o'clock. We have a lot of fun today, so join me throughout the day. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000 to 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member because the surf's up and the stimulus is up. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next on Afternoons LA.